People often ask me what are the disruptive forces happening to the utility industry now, especially in Malaysia. Okay, I can name you 4. Number 1 is energy efficiency, number 2 is renewable energy, number 3 is EV charging, electric vehicle charging, and number 4 is battery storage. Okay, now let's talk about battery storage. The one technology is coming in a big way in Western countries, and it's also coming to Malaysia in our region. Now, battery storage is considered as a disruptive technology to utility industry now, because one can store electricity now. Say for example, you are not at home during the day. You can use solar electricity, you can store it, then you can use it during when you are at home at night. You can also, if you are on the 2-tier tariff where you are the utility, you actually buy electricity from peak and off-peak tariff, you can store electricity on when you are on off-peak tariff, then you actually consume where you're on your peak tariff. So that's actually very disruptive to utility. Now, the utility has been threatened. Now, how does the utility business get threatened? Now, if one can have actually solar panels and also couple that with battery technology, one can literally disconnect from the utility. Now, that is what the utility is actually worried about. Now they are losing customers. And utilities all over the world now are thinking that these are the technology which will disrupt totally their business. Because now you can disconnect, you can be on your own. You can be responsible for your own electricity bills, and you could be independent of the utilities. When these disruptive forces come into the industry, there will also be something called utility death spiral. Now, what do I mean by utility death spiral? Utility death spiral, if one uses solar panels coupled with the battery, one can disconnect from the utility. So when one disconnects, the utility starts losing their customers. So, but then the utility still has to supply or use the same amount of assets to supply electricity. But then the utility now is losing customers. They are losing the kilowatt hour selling to the customers. So you have this problem of actually the utility having to invest in the same amount of capital expenditure, but with lesser kilowatt hour to sell. So it's numerator, which is the same, over a denominator which is getting less. So the tariff now goes up. So the tariff now will be borne by the remaining of the customer. So when the tariff goes up, more people will abandon the utility, then the more the tariff goes up. So this is what we call the utility death spiral.